हर बार जब भी यहाँ पर आते हैं तो कुछ अलग लेकर के आते हैं। जिस तरीके से पिछली बार बोला था, साल में 2 से 3 बार ही लिखता हूँ। साल में सिर्फ 2 से 3 बार लिखता हूँ। मैं आप लोग की तरह रोज नहीं लिख सकता, पर हाँ, जब भी लिखता हूँ कोशिश करता हूँ कि वो दिल से आए। और जो ये है, ये एक फीलिंग के बारे में नहीं है, बट एक जगह के बारे में है, एक कलर के बारे में है, जो जाकर के फीलिंग में ट्रांसलेट हो जाएगा। तो सबको पता है ना कि हर एक कलर का एक अलग मीनिंग होता है। तो उसी तरीके से ये कहानी जो है, दिस इज अबाउट वन कलर दैट हैज अ सिग्निफिकेंट मीनिंग ऑफ इट्स ओन, एंड is this beautiful part of it. This piece is called Lilac.
Wow.
Okay. इसको हो गया। Okay, cool. Here's it. So the city center has a coffee shop. The city center has a coffee shop. The owner painted it lilac after his first love left. The owner painted it lilac after his first love left. It looks older for its years. Big potted plants of both rosemary and thymes near the pay's desk, and a subtle savor of the wooden smoke drew one every time they crossed the road passing it. Sudden, I just skipped work and park my wheels and sit on the table that faces the street, and ordered a lemon tart every time, just 1 by 2, and top it with some chocolate sauce. The attendant for ages suggested some Irish tea, and I remember ordering some, black with honey. The walls had portraits of a deer with its brows painted turquoise, and strangely it reminded me of some heroine from the 80s. Seemed pretty to me somehow. Looking outside the window, one could see how goat-driven carriages walk on cobbled roads. Some mime artist might stare weirdly at them. There are smiling bulldogs going for a walk, and papers by the newspaper sellers selling the shoutings of the headlines of the government's falling. Several morning activities by the lane would follow in too. So for every time I visited, I remember seeing old couples nearing 60s romancing over a cup of coffee and humming classics by John Lennon. Darling, darling, stand by me, oh no, stand by me, just as long as you stay, stand by me. The owner of this cafe had a tarnished skin and had no facial hair at all. And he sat on a bar stool and played violin on every Saturday evening, precisely at 6:42 p.m. And on other days of the week, he would just sit there, notice young people visiting the cafe. You know, this person has a very significant thing of how he could sniff the essence of first love. So this time, it's about you, as to how I fell in love with you at a very young age. I had you and I enjoyed all the 4 seasons holding hands with you, sharing chalks and memories. You were my first. And I once took you to the coffee shop and ordered a lemon tart, as I mentioned like earlier. 1 by 2 again, and some Irish tea, black with honey. And when I poured the chocolate sauce on my shirt instead of the lemon tart, you laughed real bad. And the owner noticed the childlike love that we built, and he sent us a portrait of a deer with a turquoise liner wrapped in a lilac cloth. I asked the attendant who handled me the parcel, and he spoke about the owner and his deer wearing a turquoise liner on his brows, who loved rosemary and thyme bushes. The owner sent the parcel to every person he could smell first love from. The deer was a fond of both Irish tea and the violin tunes. It passed away, and it left the owner deserted. The owner painted the cafe lilac, the color of first love.
Wow.